Hello everyone. Today I'll be talking about a book named Dhanda How Gujratis Do Business by Shobha Bondre. Shobha Bondre is a Marathi writer with 25 years of experience and having written 13 odd books. Her works have been translated in English, Hindi, and Gujarati. She had written articles, short stories, and columns for Maharashtra Times, Lok Sata, Lok Prabha, Mahir, and Kirloskar. Marathi TV serials like Ambal Maya, Manasi, On Pause, and Ardhangini have also been written by the lady. Her forte is personality profiles. She interacts closely with subjects, understanding them in their social, familial, emotional, and economic settings. Her literary awards includes Maharashtra State Award for Best Novel in 1997 for Sata Sambhudrapur. The contents of the book is as shown on this slide. In the foreword, Narendra Modi has written, the reason of the soaring success of the Gujaratis is their sharp intellect, tremendous willpower, and an incredible capacity for hard work. Success has instilled in them the sound values and high sense of responsibility for the society. The caring attitude and humane approach reflects in their professional dealing and dedication to service. Self confidence is something to be treasured and last for a lifetime. In the introduction, Amitabh Bachchan has written, it's the Gujarati businessmen who have repeated history by building business empires. Men who didn't create wealth for themselves but the nation as well. Men who didn't just earn money but respect as well. The contents include Diamonds Are Forever regarding Bhimji Bhai Patel, The Circle of Life regarding Mohan Bhai Patel, Motilier becomes mayor regarding Dalpat Bhai Patel, Life of a Salesman regarding Jaydev Patel, and lastly, Not Only Patels regarding Hasu and Harsha Shah. Coming over to the first chapter of Diamonds Are Forever, it starts with Bhimji Daya Patel in 1974 when he was at British High Commission and the visa officer was denying him a visa for England because he could not speak a language. In return, he said, if he can work here without knowing the local language, why can't I survive in England without speaking English? He later went to England, Belgium, and Israel. He used to read Jai Hind newspaper at Karsangji Kaka's store. His school was 5 kilometers away. He worked all day at a field, got the newspaper from Kaka daily for half an hour, and this was his window to the world. He was thrown out of the school due to absence without leave. Plowing, sowing, and reaping crops was his daily job. His father took loan but could not even pay interest. So he did harvesting for the moneylender instead of his own fields from 4 in the afternoon to 2 in the morning and then till 9 the next morning without a morsel of food or a drop of water. He was married to Ramila in 1960. It was the same year which brought drought in Gujarat, particularly the region of Amreli, Saurashtra. Bhimji went from Amreli to Bhayavdar to work as a daily laborer on a farm for 2 rupees per day after borrowing 15 rupees. After paying for his tickets, he was left with only 4.5 rupees. Both Bhimji Bai and Ramila started earning around rupees 120 per month and then did night job in a mill totaling 240 rupees per month. They had high hopes and energy when challenged. The usual routine started from 8 am to 6 pm on the field. Then they went home for dinner. Then oil mill from 9 pm to 4 am. Then 2 hours of sleep. cooked, cleaned, packed lunch, and left for the fields again. Both were filled with endless energy, abounding hope, and a crazy passion for work. They returned home to Hajirtar after things worked out. They used to go with a sack of vegetables to the marketplace at Dhamnagar. Once at Dhamnagar, he met with Kaka, who was a diamond polisher at Surat, earning rupees 800 per month. So he decided to prove his luck there. But he was told that 4 months training costed around 400 rupees. So what he did was he took a loan of rupees 300 from a friend and rupees 200 from a relative, went from Bhavdar to Surat and was left with only 41.5 rupees when the travel was completed. After training, he took a cleaning job for rupees 50. Diamonds were used as gemstones and in industries. The price of a diamond depends on the traditional four C's: cut, color, clarity, and carat weight. 26,000 kilos of diamonds are mined from Central and Southern Africa, Canada, India, Brazil, and Australia. The rough diamonds are then brought and sold at wholesale trading centers like Antwerp in Belgium, New York, London, and Tel Aviv. These rough diamonds are then cut and polished at Surat, Johannesburg, Amsterdam, Antwerp, New York, or Tel Aviv. Bhimji Bai worked at a lathe machine from 4 a.m. to 9 p.m. and earned 2,800 rupees after 1 month. After 1 year, Ramila and daughter joined Bhimji Bai at Surat. They started living in a small tin shed at a rent of 25 rupees. Ramila started a mess cooking lunch for 20 people who were charged 45 rupees per month, earning 900 rupees. Bhimji Bai switched to another factory and shifted to an apartment at a rent of 100 rupees. He called his brother Shiv, Kurli, and Dheeraj to Surat and got them trained as tabletop, crown, and pavilion polishers. His friend Kanu Bai assisted in a loan of 20,000 rupees, out of which Bhimji Bai brought a lathe machine and 2 polishing machines and started his first factory at a rented place. Initially, he did day jobs and expanded gradually. He used to say, "Where business is concerned, if you stop, you are finished." He collaborated with Kanti Bhai and Kishan Bhai in sorting and grading polished diamonds. As business grew, he shifted to a larger home and bigger factory, having 60 lathe machines, 120 polish machines, and 300 employees. He started buying rough diamonds from Mumbai and sold the finished diamond in Zavri market. In 1970, Bhimji Bhai Patel bought a home in Mumbai and set up a unit in New Delhi. In 1974, he ventured in the markets of London, Antwerp, Tel Aviv, and New York and brought the diamonds in the wholesale market. Bhimji Bai's success is a credit to his inherent talent, his genius, his passion for learning, and for his capacity for hard work, his integrity, and unshakable confidence in himself and his abilities. The family has offices in Surat, Mumbai, New Delhi, Chicago, London, and Antwerp. They also has a textile unit in Surat and 14 acres farmland at Hajiradhar village, and also Lalji Dairy and Farm Private Limited, which produces dairy and farm products. Bhimji Bai is also an avid reader of Zavir Chand, Meghani, and Dale Carnegie are his favorite authors. His latest achievement is Mongi Bhai Daya Patel School in Hajiradhar, where 700 students are enrolled. The next chapter is The Circle of Life, which is about Mohan Bhai Patel, who is an aluminium manufacturer. The story starts in 1958, where he receives an order for collapsible aluminum tubes from Himalayan Drug Company for toothpastes and other medicines. He meets with Mr. Cochran Barnett, the managing director of Metal Box Company, who wanted to buy him out and threatened him. In 1980, he was the head of Patel Extrusion Group of Industries, having 11 large-scale factories producing all kinds of collapsible tubes with the head office in Gurgaon, Mumbai, close to the Western Express Highway. The European Manufacturers Association London gave him the distinction of being the highest producer of collapsible tubes in the world. Mohanbai lived at Jogeshwari, Mumbai. He wanted to join the Indian Civil Services (ICS) due to his neighbor Mulji Bhai Patel, who praised his son Hiru Bhai Patel, who had gone to England and passed an ICS examination. Mohan Bhai's father, Ishwar Bhai, also sent him to London to study for ICS and paid 900 rupees. He boarded SS Franconia, landed at Southampton Port in 1946. There he met with Rambhai Patel, who was the general manager of Bhavnagar State Railways, buying engines from England. Mohanbai planned Bachelor's in Commerce from London University or Law from Lincoln's Inn, and lastly ICS examination. Rambhai Patel also told Mohanbhai that the last batch of ICS exam was being conducted at London to be shifted to India at Indian Administrative Service. He also convinced him not to pursue a law degree but instead pursue engineering from Faraday House. Even though he had passed inter-examinations, Mohanbhai reappeared in matriculation examination held within 4 months and secured more than 75% marks. 5 years later, in 1951, he graduated in engineering and started working as a trainee. He came to India, got married to Chanda, and they both went back to live in London. Sir Norman Redford, head of Tata Limited Company, London, receives the letter from Ardeshir Darabshah Sharoof, A.D. Sharoof, looking for a young dynamic British engineer for the Bombay office. He sent Mohanbhai instead after consulting with Sir John Adams, principal of Faraday House. So in 1953, Mohanbhai was offered 800 rupees, but after consideration was increased to 1500 rupees. He joined Tata office in Mumbai as head of electrical engineering department. While in London, he had prepared a project report of rolling mills and was made in charge of the project. However, Mr. Hales, the London branch officer, had miscalculated the purchase price of 38 lakh rupees to 75 lakh rupees. Mohanbhai went to London, sorted the issue, and brought the machinery for 44 lakhs, saving the company a sum of 41 lakhs. While at Tata, the company received an order from Indian Railways for vitreous enameled reflectors, which they were to source from Bengal Enamel Company. But instead of buying from them, he purchased a non-operational company at Dadar, which was mortgaged with Dena Bank, to which it owed 1,10,000 rupees. Thus, the Indian Enamel Company was born. Mohanbhai paid the owner, repaired the machines, and ordered the raw materials. He resigned from Tata, but Mr. Sharoof declined and instead suggested him to work on his job for half day to focus more on the new factory. While at Tata, he came across an advertisement by R. Leshner, a German company looking for an Indian company or individual in India to market the aluminum collapsible tubes for them. He decided to open his own factory. The bigger the challenge, the greater your willpower to overcome it, and in such a situation, one seems to possess an infinite amount of energy and determination. The Indian Enamel Company was producing well, but in order to get the raw material of steel plates, Mohanbhai had to deal with the red tape of Directorate General of Technical Development (DGTD) in Delhi and Iron and Steel Control Board in Calcutta. He again submitted his resignation at Tata but was refused by Mr. Sharouf. The Indian Enamel Company made a profit of 75,000 rupees, which was double his annual income at Tata. Mohanbhai contacted the German company R. Lechner for guidance in the field of producing collapsible tubes and contacted another German company, Herlen, for buying the machinery. He applied for an import license from DGTD and a loan from Small Business Corporation and also leased a place in Malad, Bombay. Harlan gave him an on-job training for 1 month in Germany. His third resignation at Tata was also rejected by Mr. Sharouf. Indian Enamel Company in Dadar was now renamed as Lance Metal and Enamel Works. Mohanbhai's typical day would start at 6 o'clock by going to Indian Enamel Company at Dadar, which was now renamed as Lance Metal and Enamel Works. After 3 hours, he went to Churchgate to his office at Tata and worked for 4 hours. After his return to Lance from there, he would go to his new factory at Malad in the evening, which was named Patel Extrusion. He used to sleep during his train journeys from Malad to Dadar to Churchgate to Dadar to Malad on a daily basis. Mohanbhai's fourth resignation was once again rejected by Mr. Sharouf. His family, especially his father and his wife, fully supported him during those arduous periods. His fifth resignation at Tata was also promptly rejected. The machinery arrived from Germany, but its installation and production took more time. They had already received an order from Himalayan Drug Company, but the dies of the machinery were in inches, while all other calculations were in millimeters. Mohanbhai commissioned the inauguration ceremony as planned, but imported the steel for the new dies from Austria. Another order from Alembic, a pharmaceutical company, entailed making the tubes out of aluminium instead of tin. For this, Mohanbhai tried for 31 times to make a new die and then finally succeeded. He used to say that a businessman cannot afford to slow down, to stop. He who slows down, who stops, is out of the race. After handing over his business to his sons Nayan and Karthik, Mohanbhai started working for the contribution towards society. He settled for a piece of land of 250 acres in Amboli, Karanjgaon, where there was a 100 years old fort as well. He had a small skirmish with the local Adivasi people, but things settled down. Mohanbhai established Super Farm there after the names of his two daughters-in-law, Sunita and Parol. Mohanbhai today has 11 companies in Mumbai, Silvassa, Vidodara, Vapi, and Goa, while Patel Extrusion Group exports to around 40 different countries all over the world. The next chapter is regarding a motelier who became a mayor. Dalpat Bhai Patel was born in Malikpur village, Gujarat. He got a civil engineering degree from Baroda University and in 1966 went to Villanova University, Philadelphia for higher education. He settled in a well-paying job in a big firm. In 1970, he along with Magan Bhai, an electrical and mechanical engineer, toyed with an idea of starting a motel. He, his wife Neeta Patel, and his friend Dalpat Bhai Patel brought 29 rooms Imperial Inn. The Imperial Inn is in Mansfield Township on Route 206, where it joins I 95, joining Canada with Miami. They bought the place for 185,000 US dollars. They had $35,000 cash from the savings, borrowed the rest of 20K from friends and relatives, making the down payment of 55,000 US dollars. The rest was paid by mortgage at a rate of $2,000 per month. The official documents were signed on July 1st, 1970, and Dalpat Bhai and Magan Bhai became owners. He used to say that every new idea faces opposition when it is introduced for the first time. It's basic human nature. They met with some racial resistance at first but settled in their new work. Neeta Patel was in charge of the front desk from 8 in the morning to 8 at night and also maintained accounts, while both Dalpat Bhai and Magan Bhai continued with their day jobs and lent a hand during afternoons and weekends. After 18 months, Magan Bhai resigned from his job and remarried with Manju Bhabi and gave full time to the motel. The rooms were clean, reasonable, and well maintained, while the staff was caring, friendly, and open minded. The motel grew steadily. He used to say, "What they do not realize is that America is a land of opportunities, but it is in our own hands to make the most of these opportunities, work hard, and create our own paradise here. Those who understand this are able to live here happily." In 1974 recession, Dalpat Bhai was laid off from his job and thereafter concentrated on the family business. The entire family, brothers, nephews, brothers-in-laws, and cousins owned around 60 motels and business was booming. Dalpat Bhai attended Mansfield Township meeting in New Jersey state and entered local politics. On April 15, 1997, he participated in the elections and became member of the primary school board. Education is a treasure, he used to say, that doesn't diminish because you share it with someone, but that no one can take away from you. The next year, Dalpat Bhai was elected to High School Board and was made Vice President. Later, he contested the preliminaries and final elections for Township Committee as an official member of the Democratic Party on the second Tuesday of November and became a member with 61% votes. Later in January 2001, he was elected Township Mayor. His son Chetan is now a hotelier in Washington. Today, the Patels and Shah account for 55% of the hospitality business in US. The next chapter is regarding the life of a salesman. Jaidev Patel was the most successful agent of New York Life Insurance Company since 1983. He had been a member of the Million Dollar Roundtable Club for the past 30 years consecutively. The company had honored him by appointing him as chairman of the advisory board of directors because the total worth of the policies sold by him during his 30 years was 2.5 million US dollars. The key of his success was the ability to throw himself wholeheartedly into his work, his sincerity and integrity towards his work and his clients, and his commitment to fulfill his responsibilities, his confidence, and of course, the rapport that he builds with people. Jaidev travels thousands of miles to make direct face to face contact with his clients 250 days in a year. Jaidev completed his master's in chemistry from Baroda University and took up a job as a chemist at Valsad on a salary of 235 rupees per month. He went to his uncle at Nairobi and started working as a teacher. He later migrated to Toronto, Canada, where he worked as a bartender of a furniture salesman. After 10 months, in December 1968, Jay migrated to New York and went to YMCA. While waiting in a long queue, he met with Ramesh Shah, a colleague from Baroda University, who gave him his room key to freshen up. He went to Hoboken with another friend to live in there as it was more cheaper environment. Jay soon got a job for $120 per week as a chemist and found a small one-bedroom apartment. In 1971, while visiting India, he stopped over at Nairobi and met Purnima, his future wife. They were engaged and married within 2 weeks. Jay and Purnima went together to the US, where he had already hosted 8 to 10 Indian people to live in his small apartment. Purnima got a job as a secretary in a firm with a salary of $100 per week. He used to say everyone was aware of the fact that hard work was the only way to find stability and growth in this country. During those years, Joe could not stick to one job for a long time, losing 8 jobs in 2 years. When Jay lost his eighth job on New Year's Eve in 1972, he was utterly dejected. It was then that he decided to become a life insurance agent. He cleared his test for insurance agent's license in 1973 and became associated with New York Life Insurance Company. That year, his son Sachin was also born. He told himself that I will be successful. I will do everything in my power to take care of you and to give you the best. I have to succeed now. There is no other option. During his first week, Jaya sold 16 policies and made $10,000 in earnings. Purnima earned a weekly salary of $150, out of which she paid $25 for a babysitter. After 8 days of leave, she resumed her hectic life. It was a tough patch in their lives. He used to say, everybody has their ups and downs, but it is our responsibility to overcome the problems. 1.5-year-old Sachin met an accident and had his hand plastered. Within 6 months of this, Jay established himself in the insurance business so that Purnima could give up her job and take care of the child. He expanded his clientele with referrals and searching Indians from telephone directories. His wife helped in meticulously noting all particulars for future clients in a filing index. It was a laborious task of meeting people and selling them policies. Jay made a point of remaining in contact with his clients in a long relationship and helping them with different types of policies for investment as a financial consultant. In 1973, due to relaxed US immigration policy, many Indians and Gujratis, especially from Uganda, migrated to US. Many of them became lifelong clientele of Jadhav. In that very first year, Jay sold policies worth 4.25 million US dollars. He expanded his area of interest to other cities as well as Toronto and even California. He used to travel a lot to meet and pursue potential clients. He used to say, the first thing that this business has taught me is perseverance. If you don't succeed, you should not be disappointed. After 10 years, they shifted to a new house in Livingstone. They even bought a Rolls-Royce Silver Spirit for a very brief period of time. Due to excessive traveling, Jay seldom had time for his children Sachin and Seema. But when his son grew, he joined his father in the insurance business. Jay's clients used to trust him as he took care of them as a family member and catered for their needs. In February 2002, Jay visited High School in Sujitra village and renovated it. The last chapter is Not Only Portals, which is about Hasu Shah, who went to US in 1967 to study chemical engineering at New Mexico State University with $100 in his pocket. He returned to Mumbai in 1968 only to marry Harsha and return back to US. They were blessed with two kids, Jay and Neil. Both Hasu and Harsha Shah worked hard and saved $50,000. Hasu was a chemical engineer at New Jersey Police Department, while Harsha was a microbiologist in the New Jersey State Police Office of Forensic Sciences. Apart from their jobs, they bought a house, renovated it, and sold it for no profit. Later, Hasu got a job at the Environmental Protection Department, which he kept for around 10 years. They returned to India to fulfill their promise to serve the country, but things there were scorched with bribery and red tape. He started a pharmaceutical factory at Gurgaon along with his partner Mr. Divakar Bhai, but was not satisfied. After the death of his father, Hasu met with Prime Minister Morarji Bhai Desai regarding a job in central government for Environmental Protection Department, but after the meeting decided to go back to USA in 1979 and restarted his life. Hasu got his old job at the Environmental Protection Department, so that transition was easy. Soon they brought Starlight, an 11-room hotel located near Harrisburg, for $50,000 down payment and $30,000 mortgage. He used to say, if we do not take some risk, we will never be able to start our own business and never know the joy and pride of becoming successful entrepreneurs. They both transformed Starlight Motel and were initially successful. Just as the motel was getting off, there was an accident in the nearby facility of 3 Mile Island, due to which all residents were evacuated. Later, everything was restored. After 6 months of successful business, they added 6 new rooms to the motel. Once the Starlight Motel started doing well, they brought Red Rose at Elizabethtown, 16 miles from Harrisburg and 8.5 miles from Starlight. They shifted to the furnished 2-bedroom apartment meant for the owner and maintained both motels. In 1984, Hasu sold Starlight for $155,000 and Red Rose for $262,000, making a total of $417,000 profit, and bought a 125-bed nationwide hotel at Harrisburg and renamed it Riverfront Inn. Later, after the catastrophic rains and floods, business took off, and they acquired the franchise of Holiday Inn. At this point in 1985, Hasu gave up his job and ventured in the hospitality business. An old friend, Bharat Mehta, joined them as a partner of Harsha Enterprises. Later, 2 new partners, Rajendra Gandhi and K.D. Patel, also joined Harsha Group. When Bharat joined, Hasu brought Sheraton Hotel near State College. They acquired a new hotel with the entry of every partner. By 1990, Harsha Enterprises owned 4 hotels and had undertaken construction of 3 new hotels. During 1990 recession, they were also hit hard, but they barely managed. By the time Neil graduated, the group had 8 hotels. Jay had also gone to Cornell University to study hotel management and then pursue MBA and law from Temple University, but he later joined the family business, as did his younger brother Neil. When the next generation came on board, the Harsha Development Corporation diversified into different companies to manage different aspects like Harsha Construction Company, Harsha Interiors, and Supplies Company. Harsha Group expanded to big cities like Philadelphia, New York, Washington, D.C., and Boston. By 1999, Harsha Hospitality Trust had owned 10 hotels and was registered on the New York Stock Exchange. The Harsha Group consisted of 5 companies: Harsha Hospitality Management, Harsha Development Corporation, Harsha Construction Services, Harsha Interiors and Supplies, and Harsha Hospitality Trust. By 2003, Harsha Group had 20 hotels while worth leaped from $50 million to $150 million. And by 2006, they owned around 70 hotels. Thank you all for a patient listening. I hope you have enjoyed it. See you again.